Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to Victoria 3, a new grand strategy game out by the folks at Paradox Interactive. This is episode number 13 of our Let's Play series, playing as Mexico in this game. We are in the midst of our third war against the United States. We have fought two previously. The first was a victory against them, which allowed us to subsidize our economy because they paid us war reparations. The second was a defeat, which allowed us to get them to revoke their claim on California, but did not actually prevent us from losing some territory. It was a defeat. This war has kind of become a bit of a stalemate. We've gotten stuck in this really weird situation where neither side's war exhaustion can drop any further because the Americans haven't taken enough of their objectives, and because we were foolish and made one of our objectives banning slavery, and to do that, we have to actually occupy Washington, D.C. None of this was clear to me at the time I was picking the war goals, and I'll have some thoughts about sort of the game at the conclusion of this video. This will be the conclusion of our series playing as Mexico, and we'll probably start something up that's more edited and polished in the near future, because I really am enjoying Victoria 3, but I do think from making, you guys watching this, it would be more entertaining. One, to build a little bit of role playing in, and two, to just edit this so you're not watching an hour of me clicking through windows and things like that in some of these episodes. But without further ado, let's jump back into this episode. This was taken from a live stream on my Twitch channel, and get going. Come on, Mexican soldiers, do better. We're losing an offensive battle by the looks of it. The hell is Baradine? Is France in the middle of a revolution? What is Baradine, France? Who the hell are they? Oh, I think that's Indian. India, part of France that's owned by India. You know what would be fun, guys, is if we could change our war goals. I don't want to capitulate. I'd like a white peace. Just give them that. What's this kingdom down here? I don't care if they take this kingdom. You can take them. I'm not gonna give you Texas. New Mexico, I don't know if I care about New Mexico. Also, it would be their last. So what is this? Where is New Mexico? There. So New Mexico, would that be their last claim on us? Probably Colorado too, right? So they would accept that if I gave up this kingdom who's allied to me, who I don't care about. And New Mexico. That would end the war. Just death by 1,000 cuts against these guys. But like, part of me says, why would I do that, you know? When we're not suppressed yet. But I can't, realistically, I'm not going to beat them. If only I could exhaust them out of the goddamn war. Actually, their war exhaustion, if it was still ticking up, it would be going higher than ours. In theory, it makes them stronger. It's New Mexico is not really worth anything right now. There literally nothing is built there. There are 46,000 people. All right, so they beat us on the offensive, we beat them on the defensive, and nothing changes. I suppose it'll just keep going until one side collapses. Best defense. Our neighbors, the United States, have been known for their ruthless foreign policy, a concern that the Conservative Party has raised in their election campaign. American menace must be deterred. Who cares? I mean, I'm at war with them. Of course I'll say mean things about them. And we're losing this offensive battle. Hold on, man. Hold. Their morale is going down. So is ours. Look at all these freaking battles. It's like World War One. Yeah, we're gonna lose that battle too. They're actually losing more men in it though, which is kind of interesting. Where they were. I'm missing the fact that in order to get a huge eco boost. What water are you talking about? Oil? Does that exist yet? Oh no, they're attacking on the California front. They may take some of their war goals over there. Egalitarianism is unlocked. Okay. This just feels like a never-ending war that we're just gonna... Hey, look, another gold rush. What's gonna happen to the front here? So they did take some territory back. War goal cannot be reduced below 0 because they hold the capital and ban slavery. What the fuck does it mean to ban... Like, okay, so... Why can't their war score drop because of ban slavery? Like, I don't understand. What do I have to occupy to ban slavery? That doesn't make any sense to me. What do I have to... So do I have to take Washington, D.C. for that war goal to be a success? Because that's stupid. Looks like one of my generals died or was defeated or something. This war's never gonna end unless I give them something that they want. Why would I give up now? I don't even know. Okay, Tez, there's no such thing, so okay. Just take DC easy, of course. I'd say if I had a navy, but their navy's so much better than mine. It's a region that doesn't matter. I don't care. Am I not researching anything right now? I guess that makes sense. I should do that. Like, do I really have to occupy DC? I really wish the war goals weren't so goddamn obscure. Like, what do you need to do? No one knows. Maybe we can raise more troops. Like, it's cool that my war exhaustion froze because I would have lost already if it didn't. But then on the flip side, now I can't end the war. It's just gonna keep going essentially forever, I think. They hold their capital and the following war goals are not being occupied. Like, that's absurd. Would I recommend buying the game right now? I enjoy it a lot. Tez, shut up, okay? I'm sorry, but if you keep telling me something that I don't know what to do with, that doesn't help me. Alright, we're gonna defeat them. Bro, just win. Come on, you've got the advantage in manpower. Oh, no, you don't have the advantage in manpower, but you do have a huge offensive advantage. Guatemala capitulated, I guess. Okay. I don't know what's happening. I mean, I'm fine with the front system, and I like the idea of making your economy sort of the engine of war. I like that concept. I just think there's not enough. First of all, like, you should be able to add and remove war goals in the diplomacy screen. That shouldn't use points or whatever the hell. And second, like, I just really wish the game was a little bit more transparent with, you know, how to, there should be more control over which units get deployed to the front, which general is going to be in command of a battle, how many units get deployed, you know, that kind of information I think would be really useful for a player to have. I don't really care for the game to go to like a Victoria 2 sense with like massive armies that you have to micromanage across the front. Like, I like some of what they're getting at, but I do think that there are problems with the current system. All right, are we still building this fleet that I ordered? 5 weeks. Hey, we're like advancing deep in the heart of Colorado. Jean Ecole unlocked. All right, well, we won that battle. I think that might have been a defensive battle, though. We have multiple fronts. Can I reach any of them? No. And go move to this front on the offensive. Go take some territory back from the US. Also, are we still building that fleet? Am I going to be able to do anything with it? I guess we're technically building a naval base, right? Man of War. I don't have anything building Man of Wars. Build me some Man of Wars. And I think, oh no. I thought I told them to advance to that front, but it's hard to tell what's going on here. We're advancing here. Our allies are not doing well on the defensive in this particular battle, but on the other front here. I guess we took the rest of what was Oklahoma. God, what a messy front line, huh? Rubber discovered! Rubber discovered! That's not in my territory. Okay. Well, there's that. Okay, so now we need an admiral, right? So let's recruit one. How? How do I recruit an admiral? Pause. Good for him. He's now an admiral. He's also... Oh, shit, he's bigoted. Oh, well. Too late now. Naval invasion. Wait, why? Mexico has no generals with troops to perform a naval invasion. Are you sure? Stand by. Oh, is he assigned to the wrong headquarters? Really? Well, so much for that. Okay. Army, let's recruit a new general. We have 3 units in Dixie that aren't doing anything. Does it costs bureaucracy, I was going to say, to raise generals, right? Okay. Haha! Go invade DC. I don't know if this will work. I'm guessing the American fleet will intercept us, but we'll see. Is he doing anything? Just naval invasion? Like... Rubber rush. Okay. Where is this again? Oh, it's in southern Mexico. Yeah. Do it. So what do I have to wait? Prepare their forces 33 days. We're gonna get rocked. We're gonna get rocked. US fleet is 44. Ours is what, 8? No, ours is 1. They have 44 flotillas. We have 1. Boy. Interesting. They'll never see it coming. We got this, boys. It'll just be one ship. We'll just like dock and be like, hey boys, we're here. What's up? Nobody expects the Mexican invasion. Fighting off interception in the Battle of the Atlantic Seaboard. Uh-oh. Failed invasion. Okay, well that didn't go well. Build more ships. I don't care if there's not enough qualified people. Give me more sailors and servicemen. Oh god, we're getting rocked. Guess you can't ally with the Confederacy. This just needs to break into civil war, right? Like, this is so dumb. War should have been over a long time ago. It should be over. It will never end. Now they're taking northern Texas. They will probably force me to surrender before long. Is that a new thing with a patch? I don't remember seeing that before, where you freeze at 0. Well, we should activate conscripts, huh? I haven't done that yet. The sea invasion already failed, but we'll build more ships. A failed attack by the United States. This is gonna be like our World War I. They're gonna bleed us to death before we bleed them, though. Population's still growing, though. 70 brigades or battalions are moving there. Okay. The never-ending war. It's gonna go on. It. We would have won already, by the way, if I didn't ban slavery. If I had not done that, then the US would have collapsed already. It's kind of unfortunate. The never-ending war. I definitely would not have done ban slavery if I knew it meant you have to occupy. If I knew you had to occupy the United States Capitol. Ugh. The never-ending war. It goes on and on, my friends. They attack and win, we defend and win, we counterattack and win again. Hey, Newhauser. We have found ourselves in an impasse with the United States of America. We made the mistake of having the ban slavery objective in our peace terms, and because of that, we are not allowed to make peace. Ever. Unfairly denied entry. Everyone must be allowed. Because apparently, since we have not occupied the capital, war support can't go below 0. Meanwhile, on their end, they have not conquered New Mexico or Rio Grande, so their war support cannot go, or our war support can't go below 0. So we're stuck in this never-ending conflict that I'm sure will end at some point. Tez, if you say that stupid penis objective one more time, you're getting banned. So yeah, keep that in mind. If you like try to enforce a policy like this, it'll end on attrition and deaths. It won't, because the war scores are at 0. They can't go below 0. The US has lost 200,000 casualties and the war is still going. Do I have support of the army? I mean, it doesn't... Yeah, I think so. They're in our government. It's probably why we've got like a 90% score on all of our defensive battles. Look at their approval for a white peace. It just says +10, and it still says proposed white peace, no. They still won't accept a white peace. They would accept us giving them New Mexico, but then we'll still have this Colorado territory hanging around that'll, I'm sure they'll demand, for, you know, in the future. So like, yeah, I could allow a peace if I just give them more land. It's not growing because it up here it says war score. War support cannot be reduced below 0 because they hold their capital on the following war goals: New Mexico and Rio Grande. That's for us. Meanwhile, US's war support cannot be reduced below 0 because they hold their capital, and one of our objectives is to ban slavery. You didn't try and help, Tez. You deliberately didn't try to help. So, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Gives me time to build more ships. I think I am building more ships. I thought I was. More ships. Shouldn't he have more ships under his command? Where did those other ships go? Or am I expanding the naval base and not actually expanding the fleet? Well, they don't have anyone to crew them, I guess. Can't build subs. Man, can you guys imagine if the US had been in this war? I wonder how much like if I take their whole freaking country, but I don't take the capital, will it still be stuck in a never-ending war? Like, what the fuck? Hey, look, we're driving deep into Colorado. Actually, we're in Wyoming now. Their population isn't becoming more radical. We're the ones in debt because of our constructing the Navy. I think their economy is doing okay. Their GDP continues to increase despite the war. Thanks, darling. So if I cede land, there could be peace. Yes, that is true. If I cede land, there could be peace. But who wants peace on those terms? Not one step back. Never give up. Never surrender. Look at Texas, by the way, guys. Look at all the desolation from the war. All the burned territory. Devastation. Turmoil. There's not really events per se, so I don't... Civil wars can erupt, but they don't erupt because of historical events, I don't think. At least not... There's like journal entries, but I don't know that those really... We're really gonna like burn way too many years just stuck in this war. I'm thinking maybe we should just end it. What do you guys think? Just give them New Mexico. Know better next time. Don't do the abolish slavery. No march on Washington. I can't get by this stupid front. I can't take all of DC in the US. I mean, you can't, like, I'm assuming if I try and sail out here, they'll intercept me. What if we do, what's this? We've got a general doing nothing with 8 battalions. What if we do a naval invasion of Louisiana? Will it require I sail all the way to DC? Invasion fleet will be intercepted by David Farragut, 10 ships. Okay, so don't do that then. Did I ever get more ships for my, did I ever get more crews for my ships? Doesn't look like it. Didn't I build more ships? Where'd they go? Also, pretty sure our economy is flatlining. I'm not entirely sure why. Probably the expense of the military, because we raised the reserves. How do I... Our ships and garrisons? What happened to the 3 ships we built? They just go away? Did I not actually build more ships? Did I just build more man o' wars? I'm very confused. I don't know what to do with the Navy. I'm very confused with the Navy. Is it because we don't have enough people working in the Navy? How do we solve this now? Thanks, Beard. All right, guys. I don't see a way out. I see no way out of this war. So I think what we'll do, we will give the United States our ally. Lol, 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 lol. And New Mexico. And call it a peace. We'll keep Texas and California. And we'll know what to do next time they come for us. Can Russia invade Alaska? I think it's theirs right now, so there's no need to invade Alaska. It's theirs. They haven't sold it to the US yet. It's enjoyable, but at times frustrating, Cruiser. Look at this. New Mexico, Mexican, what? It's surrounded! Can I just give them it? I know there's a gold rush going there, but I'm curious diplomatically, could we just give them it? All right, guys, this is where we ended the stream, and I think we're going to go ahead and end this episode as well. Mexico's economy is in a bit of a mess. I can solve it. You know, we're in the process of doing that. I think we probably overextended on construction. Iron buildings became way too expensive. I got in too much debt so that my interest rates are too high, and I need to figure out how to cut the government expenses. But I think this is probably where we'll wrap the series up. Mainly just because I've learned a lot and I'd like to try to kind of start something new again. I'm not sure what country I will do next, but we will do another series. It'll probably be more edited than this one so that it's not just showing you everything. And I'd like to figure out how to incorporate some role-playing elements. I think that could be fun, but we'll see. Let me know if you enjoyed the series, though. I did want to share some thoughts about the game. I know Victoria, at least as of the recording of this, which is probably a week or so from when you'll see it, it had a mixed review on Steam, and so I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit because it seems like there's a lot of negativity with the game. First off, I think the way the game, overall, I enjoy the game. It is not flawless by any means. There are definitely some very rough parts in Victoria 3, but to start off with a high point, I really enjoy the way the economies and the markets and the custom unions work. I think they probably could use a little bit of refinement to make things a little bit more difficult. Right now, it seems pretty easy to start making money if you just kind of figure out some basics. So there are some things there, but generally, I think it's a really satisfying experience with the way that the markets work, the way that trade works, convoys, the way that different markets work and can kind of swallow up other markets via customs unions, and the way that the nations sort of interact economically. That to me feels like an absolutely stellar job by Paradox, and that by itself, for me anyway, makes this game enjoyable to play. I would also say that I feel like the social and sort of political management of the game is probably decent. We didn't do a lot of it as Mexico. We didn't really try to change our politics a whole lot, but it does seem like, you know, what was there is interesting and can have some very meaningful impacts on your progress in the game. And so that feels good. I'd like some more time with it, but overall that seems like they did a pretty decent job there. I think it might be a little bit too easy button-ish, if you will, like you click a button and now you're multicultural, like, and then racism is gone. And I think that's a little bit silly. I think there should be some more pushback, some stronger pushback by different groups within your state when you implement certain policies. There is political pushback, but I don't get as much social pushback as I think there should be. And so hopefully that's an area that they dig into a little bit more, because while I like the way that the systems interact with the politics and the social stuff, I don't think there's a lot of feeling of life from your society when you pass those laws. Additionally, if we get into some things that I would like to see them do, because there are definitely some things they need to change or tweak, in my opinion, to make this a great game. I think it's a decent game, even a good game, a game that I enjoy, a game that I'm going to put, you know, 50 plus, maybe 100 plus hours into. You know, it'll be one of my most played games of the year for sure. And so I think, you know, putting that out front, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, this is the worst game ever. I think that's absurd. It is not the worst game ever. But there are areas that the game, I think, could improve, and I look forward to hopefully seeing them get improved. First things first, the military. Wars are just dumb the way they're fought now. I like the idea of abstracting them. I do not want big blob armies like in Victoria 2. I don't want to have to micro the military. This game is at its core a social and economic sim. It is not a war game. It's not intended to be a war game. And I don't think, Victoria really ever was intended to be a war game, despite war being a big thing. I actually think it would be interesting if they automated a lot of the imperial conflicts. Like if I'm, doing colonization of native tribes in the Americas, it works cool the way it works now, where you're gradually incorporating their territory. I think they could use certain attributes or variables that would determine whether your front would move forward and you would colonize territory, or whether it would move back. I think in rare exceptions, there's no point in even having a war when native tribes revolt against you. I know people want to push buttons and play war and all of that, but at the end of the day, it's not a meaningful decision or conflict when a single battalion of natives rise up against you, when 2 battalions of natives rise up against you, when you have 200 battalions in your army, or even 20 battalions in your army. It's not challenging. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of effort. And I don't think it really speaks to how those wars occurred. You didn't see major mobilizations when the United States faced the Apache, or faced the Sioux or other tribes like that. They were individual detachments, battalions, regiments that were in the field. Regular troops weren't mobilized. The economy wasn't mobilized. I don't see the point in that. Certainly when you have civil wars, when you have wars between great powers, between sort of equal powers, it makes sense to fight a war and to have to do things. But I don't think fighting, tribes in that sense makes sense. And maybe that whitewashes those tribes' experience and their history a bit. I get that. I think there's other ways you can make that interesting. I think there's other ways you can show that conquest occurring. Again, I think there's probably variables maybe in those provinces, in those regions. Maybe you add some complexity to the colonial sort of mechanics in the game, so that you actually have to do things to expand your reach. Or if the native tribes do things, maybe they even push back against your colonization. I think those would be interesting ways to think about it without it being raise troop and march troop to fight. Again, not looking at erasing the experience or the actual event, but finding more interesting ways to deal with that than just fight with armies. Because it kind of works the way I was talking about now, until they're pretty much fully colonized and then they revolt. And that, it's just whatever. Another thing is just wars in general. You need way better control over fronts. You need better control over generals. So I think you should have some control over what a front is, maybe like the Hearts of Iron system, but maybe not entirely that. I don't want to micro the war. It's not a war game at its core. So maybe like Hearts of Iron light, but some control over where your fronts are. Additionally, the ability to move battalions between headquarters. The fact that I'm raising a battalion in Mexico City doesn't mean that my general in sort of Central America shouldn't be able to command it. That's weird. The districts, the way the military districts work, that's just, I don't get it. It's frustrating. It's just weird. If you're trying to build some sort of sense of needing multiple garrisons throughout the country, there's probably a better way to do it, and it's just a weird way to do it. So allowing units to transfer between forces, allowing you to pick roughly where your front lines are, and then probably allowing you to pick which general you want in charge of a given front. So that way it's not like a dice roll to see which general under that front is actually going to fight. I think those are some really big changes that would add a lot of quality of life improvements to the war system without completely throwing everything out. I don't need tons of detail, right? Like the attack, defend, and maybe reserve options are probably enough on a given front. But if I have those other elements of control, I think it'll go a long way to making the war system more enjoyable without being too micro-y. And then maybe also giving the ability to determine which units on your front you actually want to participate in a battle. Because right now it's very much good luck, it's just who knows? You've got 30 battalions on a front and maybe 8 will get deployed, or maybe 4 will get deployed. And the enemy might have fewer battalions, but it'll bring more to the fight. I don't understand how that works. And I would like to see some refinement there, because that's just a little bit frustrating. So that's kind of how I would think about refining the war system. And then last but not least, I would like to see more character for each individual nation. Right now, nations are too samey. You've got the journal system, which we didn't really interact with a lot in this series, but you got the journal system that gives you events and things like that. But I think one of the real things of Victoria 2 and 1, the charm they had was some of the events, the historical events that would pop up. Now, I understand Paradox doesn't want to railroad you into an experience. They want to make it more of a sandbox experience than, giving too much history to the game. So that it's more, you could pick anyone and play anyone and it could be enjoyable. But I think the way to do that is give me a lot more historical events, but put them in the journal the way it works now, so that like you can have all of these historical events that exist in Victoria 2 if you meet the criteria to trigger them. So you don't automatically trigger them all the time, no matter what. Maybe there's a few, but you don't automatically trigger them all the time, no matter what. But when you do certain things, then it triggers it. So that gives you the option of going more sandbox and not trying to get those events, or gives you the option of getting more historical flavor and really giving a sense of individuality to each nation. And I think those are the initial things I would do that I don't think would require too much work. The events might require a lot, like to script them up and everything like that. But like, and the military side, I'm probably massively simplifying how much work that would be. But to me, this game is a really solid foundation. The economic game already makes this game a really enjoyable game for me to play, and I like spending time on it. But I would like to see, again, those refinements in the military system, maybe make the economy a little bit harder, and then add more events. And I think that would go a long way to making this the best strategy game of the year. A lot of people are acting on Steam, it seems like it's the worst thing ever and it's just a typical Paradox trash release or whatever. I don't agree with any of that. I think there are definitely holes. There are definitely very frustrating things in the game, and yet I'm still really enjoying my time with it. So I would say, like, to me, this would probably, if it was any developer other than Paradox, because it seems like there's sort of a cult of hating on Paradox nowadays, in certain groups, I would say that this would be like a mostly positive game to me. Mixed seems way too low. Very positive, probably not there. Mostly positive is sort of my impression of where this game is at right now. And I would say, hopefully we get there. Hopefully we get some of those changes and we see what Paradox does. But I guess the future will tell. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts. This ended up becoming a kind of a long review-ish, if you will, here toward the end of this episode. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts below. Let me know what you guys think. And that's going to do it for today's episode. So until next time, this is the Historical Gamer, as always, saying thank you very much for watching, and I'm out. Bye-bye.